G'day everyone, Matt from Nevermind, back again. This is a little video I wanted to make. I'm still talking about Poland because it's coming up in late September and we've got some places remaining we'd like to fill up pretty soon. Great flight deals with Qatar through Doha, direct from Melbourne and Sydney, Brisbane at the moment, so worth checking out. But today, this is kind of part two of a video I made. I'll move this speaker. Video I made earlier in the week, which Marie can link through. It's on YouTube at the moment, where I spoke more about the size and geography of Poland, which is quite interesting. It's about the size of Queensland. It's a big country for a European country. Doing some cracking things there at the moment, leading Europe economically and politically. I can't wait to get over in September and really experience it. It's one of the safest countries in Europe at the moment, in the world. The people are really excited and proud, and I just can't wait. But today I wanted to talk more about the people and why you should care about Poland and its connection to Australia. It's super interesting. I'm Polish by descent. My grandparents were both grandparents on my father's side were from Poland. So I've got a vested interest in this bike tour, and I can't wait to explore it by motorcycle. I've been before, but not on a bike. So this is going to be very special. I've put a lot of time and effort and research into finding these amazing places we're going to ride in September. But a bit about Nevermind, and I'm going to do more of these videos about the places we go to, and I'm going to use the whiteboard because I like it as a tool. I think it's super fun, and it's great for sort of just jogging your memory about what you're talking about. But and Ruthie, the man himself, is coming to Poland. Flights were booked this week, so he'll be joining us. We'll be taking the drone and video stuff, so we making capturing some amazing content. Think of us. I watched the Grand Tour with Clarkson and Hammond and James May last night, and their Poland version of the Grand Tour, their episode. It's on Amazon, I think. But it was okay, but didn't really showcase much about Poland or the Polish people. It was all about them and the cars. It's super fun to watch, but we want to create something like that, a low budget version of that. On motorcycles, going through the backcountry, really chatting to people, seeing what's going on there, what they think of Aussies, what they've been up to, and just really getting underneath the skin of the place and showcase that on our YouTube channel. So think of it Grand Tour / Parts Unknown with Bourdain, very low budget with Matt and Ruthie. That's what you can look forward to. So stay tuned for that. I've got a very talented video editor, Toby Trinh in Melbourne, who's going to help us out with the editing for that. So hopefully we'll get that out sometime in October at least, if not November, and you'll be able to see what Poland's all about through our eyes and on a motorcycle. So Ruthie's an incredible bloke, been riding bikes for 150 years. Four-wheel drive stuff all over Australia and Europe. This will be his fourth tour with us. He's been to Ireland, Argentina, Chile, Patagonia, Sri Lanka, and somewhere else. I can't remember. But we've travelled a lot together. You can see all that on YouTube. So really excited about that. And what I'm going to title this video, I think, and the email we send it out as, I had an epiphany last night, and I think it's the Nevermind of adventure. I was thinking I should write a book one day or make a video, the business of the adventures of Nevermind. I thought would be a good title. And I went, no, we're all about the Nevermind of adventure. That really sums up what Nevermind is all about. When you come on a tour with us, and I hate the word tour because I would never go on a tour, you don't feel like it. It's a bunch of mates, a bunch of new mates, very quickly become very good mates, just riding, exploring, and all we've done is very subtly sort of jam-packed 3 to 6 months worth of travel into 2 weeks to make it, super cost effective, to make it, just run smoothly so we can see a hell of a lot more without you having to spend months of time researching and going through the years of pain and suffering that we've had to go through to do it. I'm heading up to the Himalayas in a couple of weeks, and I was trying to work out how many bike tours I've run up there, and it's probably more than 50, but it's probably less than 100. So that's a lot, and that's just that one tour, you know. And you know, if you put 10, 15 people on each of those, so it's, you know, there's thousands of people. I know what you guys like, and you know, it's that freedom to explore without, you know, you shouldn't even know that we're there doing our jobs. It reminds me of a interview I saw with Neil Young about 20 years ago. He was speaking about his one of his tours, and he was in his grungy stage then. He was probably, you know, yeah, had been for a long time, but you know, quite heavy rock sort of music. He was playing with Pearl Jam and rocking in the free world and stuff like that. Great music. Check it out on YouTube. I reckon that was the best of his. You know, he's got through his folk days, which some great music through there. But you know, I really liked his grunge era. So check that out. But he was saying, like, you know, on stage, he goes, it seems like we're just thrashing, jumping about, you know, making a lot of noise. And he goes, it's not like that at all. He goes, the stage is rubber matted. Everything's gentle. Everything's timed to precision. You know, he goes, we play these gigs, rehearse for months and months and months, and perfect everything. He goes, we read each other's minds. He goes, a little glance to my drummer, he knows exactly what I'm up to. When we're on the road, some of my guys have been with me 15 years and we've done hundreds of tours together. We don't even need to speak to each other. It's just like blokes like Wakar and City, they can get to a corner and they know which way I've gone. They know, you know, it's like we can read each other's minds, and it's amazing. You know, someone goes missing, we know where they are. You know, I don't have to say anything. I just look at them. They're gone. They'll find them. You know, they know where to go, when to message, when to come back, where to stop for lunch. You know, we time everything. It looks like it's loose, and when you're on one of our tours, it's going to feel like it's really bloody loose, but it's not. Everything's precision. Everything's very well thought out and planned to make it feel that way and to give that Nevermind adventure. So it's about the Nevermind of adventure, if that makes sense. We're on an adventure. You don't need to, you know, never mind. It's just we're going to do it. I guess that sums us up. So, so Neil Young inspired little chat there. So I don't want to waffle on too much, but Poland. Why you should do Poland on a bike with us? Why you should care about Poland is I actually made some notes for this because I thought there's so much to talk about. I'm going to forget. So where we're going with this is like, I just put into the internet, you know, one of those AI people. The top 5 famous people, Polish people. Nicholas Kornukopius. Now, you know, I'm not a classical musician, but I know he was big time back in says here, born in Turin in 1473. This is one of my favourite towns in Poland. So jump on Google Maps, type in Turin. I don't know, it's got a little apostrophe above the R. It's a beautiful old town, cobbled streets. I spoke about it in the last video. One of my favourite places, got a statue of Kornukopius. I think also, no, he wasn't even a musician actually. I'm getting him mixed up with Chopin. He was an astronomer. I'm a dickhead. He was the astronomer who proposed the heliocentric model that the Earth revolves around the sun, not the other way around. Born in Turin in 1473, he fundamentally changed humanity's understanding of the cosmos. Sorry, I'm getting confused. See, lucky I took notes. It's never mind. So number 2, Marie Curie. I mean, we've all heard of Marie. I won't guess this one. I'll read the notes just so I don't stuff it up. I thought it was Marie, but it says here Marie. So Marie, you can correct me on that in the video. Born Marie Sklodowska in Warsaw in 1876, pioneer physicist and chemist who discovered polonium, named after Poland, and radium, the only person to ever win the Nobel Peace Prize in 2 different sciences, physics and chemistry. So polonium, incredible. I might have to put something in the footnotes. I'm going to look up what polonium actually is. But I'm pretty sure there was some medicinal uses for that. Chopin, near Warsaw, one of the greatest composers and pianists of the Romantic era, born near Warsaw in 1810. Cornerstone of classical piano and deep source of Polish national pride. I'm going to YouTube some of that later. Obviously, Pope John Paul II, near Krakow. Karol Wojtyla, born in 1920, became the first Polish pope, probably one of the most famous and longest serving popes, I'd imagine. He was in there for a long time. One of the most influential religious figures of the 20th century, widely credited with playing a significant role in the fall of communism in Eastern Europe. So he's a Krakow man. We've had a few from Warsaw, Turin. So, and this one I've also, me and Ruthie spoke about Lech Walesa. He was on the podcast episodes. You'll see that on YouTube as well. That went out last Friday. So easy to find. A Sparky turned activist who led the Solidarity trade union movement, helping to dismantle communist rule in Poland. Won the Nobel Peace Prize in '83 and served as Polish president. Look up the Solidarity movement. Incredible. You know what happened through that over in Gdansk up here. Largest port on the Baltic Sea. Didn't even use my notes for that one. And the Australian connection, super interesting. You've all heard of Kosciuszko, Mount Kosciuszko, and probably wondered why it was called that. It's not because it was discovered by Mr. Kosciuszko. It was actually named by Strzelecki, Paul Edmund Strzelecki, who's from the Poznan region, so over here, born, spent quite some time exploring Australia, particularly Gippsland and the Snowy Mountains. But Kosciuszko, he's an interesting dude. Polish national hero and military general, fought in the American Revolutionary War alongside George Washington. So, you know, he was instrumental. He was an engineer, and he designed a number of, from what I understand, fortresses that were instrumental in overthrowing British rule in the USA. So he went over there, volunteered to fight with the Yanks to overthrow the British. Led a Polish uprising after that against Russian and Prussian occupation. One of Poland's greatest freedom fighters. So, you know, after the American Revolutionary War, he's gone back to Poland and thought, I want to keep fighting the good fight. And incredible story. Strzelecki, another incredible Polish explorer, honoured Kosciuszko by naming Australia's highest peak after him in 1840. I've got lots of notes here. My pronunciation for your Aussie audience, Poles say Kosciuszko, not Kosciuszko. There's actually a long-running debate about whether Australia should correct the official pronunciation. Maybe we should run that to the vote, Elbow, yes or no. That would be an interesting one. So the full story, born in 1797 near Poznan, in a Polish noble family, self-taught geologist, never finished school but had a brilliant mind. After a stint in the army, he explored North and South America, then arrived in Sydney in 1839. This bloke is incredible, actually. He explored Australia, discovered gold near Bathurst, probably the first person to do so in Australia. A decade before the gold rush. What else have I got here? I don't want to go through the expedition. He ventured into the snowy mountains with a team of explorers and 2 Aboriginal guides, Charlie, Tara and Jackie, climbed the highest peak and named it Kosciuszko. He had a near-death experience at the Latrobe River. His party faced starvation. Mind you, he did all this as a volunteer. He wasn't funded. He self-funded all these explorations, which I think's pretty wild, especially back in those days. They survived and reached Melbourne in May 1840. Mind you, you've got to understand, Melbourne was only founded in about 1835, so to arrive in Melbourne in 1840 would have been pretty interesting. But how's this? After all that, he published a book about the geography and landscapes, and he's a scientist basically. He was before an explorer, and he published his book, handed it to the government, and then listen to this. Rather than retiring on his fame, Strzelecki went to Ireland during the Great Famine, 46 to 48, and worked tirelessly to distribute aid, helping save over 200,000 people, mainly children. He was knighted by Queen Victoria for his service. See, the Polish. This is why, and it's an Aussie connection. We need to go. You need to get over there, and we should know about all this. His book, Physical Description of New South Wales and Van Diemen's Land, so he obviously went to Tasmania as well, was praised by Charles Darwin and remained the authority source on Australian geology for decades. His name lives on across Australia, the Strzelecki Desert, the Strzelecki Ranges and the Strzelecki Track in South Australia. A quick ending detail. He left instructions that after his death, all his papers were to be burned and his body buried in an unmarked grave. Random. Okay, so, and here's another one. I don't know if any of you have read the book. It's probably the last 10, 15 years, Mark Manson's book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I haven't read the whole book. I've just read the first couple of chapters. I got distracted. I should finish it actually because it's quite a good read, but I do remember the introduction talks about this guy in World War II, Witold Pilecki, the soldier from the Mark Manson book. So I typed this in because I wanted to talk about this incredible story. This is arguably the most extraordinary soldier in history, and he's barely known outside Poland. In 1940, Polish cavalry officer Witold Pilecki volunteered to be deliberately arrested by the Nazis and sent to Auschwitz to infiltrate the camp, build a secret resistance network, and smuggle out reports on what was happening inside. What a fucking madman. Inside Auschwitz, 2.5 years as a prisoner. So he volunteered to go in. On September 1940, he walked into a Warsaw street roundup and allowed himself to be captured. Under the false name Tomasz Serafiniki, he arrived at Auschwitz and was assigned prisoner number 4859 over the next 2.5 years. So I remember reading this, and he would get in and out. He was such an intelligent dude. He could get in and out of Auschwitz, go back in, get reports out, all sorts of stuff. He built a secret underground resistance organisation inside the camp, constructed a radio transmitted from smuggled parts, sent the first detailed reports of the Holocaust, gas chambers, experiments, mass murders to the Polish government in exile in London, passed all the reports to the Allies. And then he escaped. In 1943, he escaped with 2 other prisoners. He continued fighting, joining the Warsaw Uprising in 1944, and after the war tried to establish a resistance network against the Soviet-backed communist government. What an animal. How's this though, you know? Karma doesn't always play out, but 1947, captured by the communists, the Soviets, who were in control of Poland at the time, tortured, subject to a sham trial, and executed with a shot fired to the back of his head, 25th of May 1948. He was not exonerated until 1990 after the fall of communism. So he was seen as enemy of the state until 1990. Poland's chief rabbi wrote of him, when God created the human being, God had in mind that we shall all be like Captain Witold Pilecki. So amazing story. So get a copy of that book, or jump online and check him out. But as we be riding around here, it's going to be great to know this sort of stuff. Talk about, remember these people. Notable Polish Australians. Thought I'd check this one out, just see if there's anyone else famous out there with Polish heritage that's notable. Magda Zabanski. I think most of us would remember Magda from her the Comedy Company and those sorts of shows. Born in the UK to a Polish father, raised in Melbourne, one of Australia's best loved comedians. Kath and Kim, Babe, also prominent LGBTQ advocate. Michael Klim, I didn't even know. Born in Szczecin, Poland, immigrated to Australia as a child, become an Olympic gold medal winning swimmer in Sydney in 2000. Samantha Stauser has a Polish grandfather, Australian tennis champion, won the US Open. Dr. Karl Kruszeneski, born in Sweden to Polish refugees, raised in Australia. Paul Strzelecki, obviously we know that one. So, that's just food for thought. The last vid was all about the size and geography and how amazing it's going to be to ride around, but the history, the people, the Australian connection. The next video I might talk about the tucker. So the other thing I thought we could talk about is essential travel items, that I always pack on my bike trips, and I'm heading to the Himalayas in a couple of weeks, and I've just got something new that I thought I'd share with you. Haven't used it yet, but these come in an incredible package. Macna heated gloves from ridersline.com.au. They weren't cheap, but they had a special deal on. So these, I've never had a pair of heated gloves. I have had Macna winter gloves, so I can't wait. So you get 2 batteries with it. I don't know what that is. It says something on there. Haven't had a good look at it yet. Battery charger. So I think you slip the batteries in there, and then you have heated gloves. So AI, all that. Welcome to the 21st century. Can't wait to try those puppies out. They look pretty cool as well. They're not super thick. My winter gloves were thicker than that. So, and I had them for years. They just bit the dust in Ireland last month. Just got too much use. Obviously, new limited edition Nevermind black reverse print t-shirt. Just came hot off the press yesterday. That on the back. We've got a deal running at the moment. Can't remember what it is. I think it's 2 for $60 with postage. Pretty good deal. Or 1 for $35. So get amongst it. That's till let's just pick a random date and say it's to the 10th of July. 2026, just in case you're watching this in the future. Obviously, flannelette shirt. I recommend a higher quality one from maybe one of the workwear shops. This one was a gift from my good friend Seba in Patagonia. I don't know where he got this from, but he's Argentinian. He's our driver and mechanic, one of your best mates. The sleeves have shrunk, or I've got bigger. Courtesy of Aldi. These are great. So you can see that there. You got all the connections. I think it was about $30. You plug it in. You've got USB, USB-C, 2 plugs, so you can charge all week. I have so much recording equipment, it's ridiculous. So my carry-on bag, obviously Nevermind leather strap. That's my carry-on. Fit everything I need in that from the plane. Everything else goes into my suitcase. Obviously the AGV helmet, AX8. I don't think they make these anymore. They've probably got a new model. Cardo headset, love it. I think the centers are good. I don't use one, but I haven't had any problems with that. And I've been, I don't take this with me. I just play with this in the office. I don't have a motorbike at home, so that's all I've got. So I mean, camera-wise, I've been obviously into the Insta360. Had the X4. It's now kaput. So I love the camera, love the footage, but the after-sales service is terrible. So I don't know if I'll get another one. I hope someone else comes out with a good one. DJI make quality stuff. I've got the DJI action cam, love it, never had a problem with it. Problem with my Insta is the selfie stick snapped. That was designed to be on the back of a bike, and the camera's fallen off, cracked the lens. Try to send it back to get replaced. They want like $600 to replace the lens and fix the camera. So it's not worth it. I'll buy a new one for that. So a bit pissed off about that because I really like the camera, but that's what happens. I had to send it back to Hong Kong as well. So anyway, also if some places, travel fan, if you're like me and you're like a fan at night, a lot of hotels, particularly in Europe, don't have air conditioning, and it can get quite hot in summer. I know, even in Ireland. Some of the hotels, I cannot get a good night's sleep unless I've got a fan. So I recommend one of those for certain trips. Poland probably will be one of them. I doubt their hotels have air conditioning or fans in them for that matter. Fans enough, you don't need air conditioning, but that can be super handy. Places like Rajasthan, Sri Lanka, you don't need that because they've all got air conditioning. Patagonia, little travel fan's great. So. But going back to cameras, the DJI stuff, you can't go wrong. I'd stay away from GoPro now. I don't think they're very good. Insta360, fantastic, but just be prepared if you break it, your backup service isn't very good. Drones, I've had a couple of DJI drones, love them. Never had a problem with them. The reason I've had 3 of them is because I've lost them or damaged them myself. Never had a fault. I've now got the anti-gravity A1 drone, which is an Insta360 product, thinking that would be a good move. Incredible to the footage. Again, 360, you've got to wear VR goggles to fly it, but the problem with it is there's so many parts. Like, I should have just bought another DJI, probably just a Neo, a simple one that I can just pull out, throw it up, and bang, bang, bang. So my advice, if you're traveling with us, or even just going on a bike trip, I'd just get a DJI action cam. I'd get the Neo drone, and leave it at that, and use your phone for standard photos. That's really all. That's all I'm taking on the Himalayas. You know, I could be tempted to get another Insta 360. I might get the X5, the upgraded model, but you know, just for that 360 stuff. But we'll see how we go. But I mean, I think other than that, I always travel with a Turkish travel towel. I think they're one of the best things ever. You can buy them online or in most of the surf shops. They're just super thin. They dry quick. Use them as a sarong, a towel, you know, blanket, all sorts of stuff. I find them, and they fold up really small. I reckon they're the best thing ever. What else do I take? Tank bag. Magnetic tank bag's kind of useful, depending on which ride you're on. That's about it. There's probably other stuff. Desert boots for flying with. On Amazon, you can get the old school desert boots. I'll take mine off. These are my old pair. I've had them for quite a few years now, but absolutely useless for anything other than putting around the office. Now, these are trash because I've used them, but you know, on a plane, your feet swell up. You know, you're going through security. They never make you take these off, and they're just like wearing a pair of slippers. But you know, treacherous soul, don't go bushwalking in them. But you know, they're about $100 on Amazon. Love them. They look cool. Bringing it back to the 70s and 80s. You know, good old days. So anyway, I'll put that back on later. Yeah, I might come up with a bit of a list. But yeah, they're probably things that pop to mind. You know, riding gear. You know, again, it depends which trip you're on, but less is more. I like textile pants now with the zip-in liners because you can just whip your thermal layer or your waterproof layer out. Same with a jacket. You know, a good adventure jacket. Mackin would do a good one. Dry rider. You know, they're pretty easy to come across. They're all pretty good. I always pick up some bargains on Marketplace these days as well. So. Yeah, if you've got any questions, put it in the comments section of this YouTube vid, and I'll answer them. But our new recruit Marie has given me some questions. She said, "Matt, just pass these away if they're no good, but ideally these questions will give you something." English is Marie's second language. She's French, so. Sorry, Marie, but let's see what she's put here. These are some talking points. First things first. After all these years, what's one moment that perfectly sums up why you still do this? Be honest. Any mistakes you've made on tour that nobody has ever noticed? Oh, that's the next one. It's just so you know. Why do I still do this? That's a very very good question. It's definitely not for the money, although you know there'd be one day. I'm sure it's going to roll in when probably Elon Musk or Bezos swoops in and purchases us because we're such a powerful brand and life-changing bike tours. Who knows? But I do it because I enjoy it. I love it. I love researching places, travel bikes, you know, and sharing it with people. Obviously, I love people. Actually getting, you know, I don't know if I wouldn't say I'm good at it, but I don't mind doing this and promoting the stuff and talking about what we do on camera and putting stuff on YouTube. I think it's kind of fun. I love to write about it on our emails, and then you know when we're away on a bike trip with a bunch of great people and meeting new people all the time, you know what's not to love. You know there are downsides to it, like the travel can be exhausting. But other than that, I'm very very lucky and fortunate to be able to do this. But you know, it's not for everyone. I wouldn't recommend. I would recommend everyone sort of does consider going and having a crack at something like this. You know, when I say like this, something that you know a bit left of centre sometime. You know, just to, you know, I think in your life that's what we're here for. You know, give it a crack, see what happens. You can always go back to work. I mean, I've had to suck it up and go back to work, you know, through COVID and that. You know, I was picking oranges, you know, 5 years ago, pretty much exactly 5 years ago to the day. So, you know, we all have to do some stuff. But be honest. Any mistakes you've ever made on tour that no one ever noticed? Oh, geez, where do I start? You know, yeah, there's a lot. But as I said, the Nevermind of adventure. That's what we do. You know, you something goes wrong, but you turn it around into something that is right. It's something as simple as taking a left turn when you should have went right, and you go, oh shit, I know I've gone wrong, the wrong way, but let's see what's up here and just keep going. Or I mean, even in the last island tour, I rocked up to a hotel at 6 o'clock after a massive day, and we went to the wrong town. We were supposed to go to another town. I went to where we normally go, but on this particular trip, we did the 2 days in reverse. So it was going to be another 4-hour ride. We're all exhausted at 6 o'clock. Pretty embarrassing, but we had to ring around. We couldn't stay at the hotel. It was booked out, so we had to ring around and find other alternative accommodation. Cost me thousands and thousands of dollars, but stupid mistake. Happens, the Nevermind of adventure. It was like, never mind, everyone, grab a pint of Guinness and we'll sort this out. Made the best of it, and we're off again the next day and had a wonderful time. Turned out for the best. The place we found the next night was a new hotel we don't normally stay at in Dingle, and it's a keeper. It's like, wow, this is better than a regular place. So that's that can happen. It happens to the best of us. But like Neil Young said, it's everything's carefully planned, precision engineered, but sometimes the best moments, and I'm sure Neil would agree with me, are when you hit the wrong note and the band follows and you take it down a different path and the crowd goes wild, and that's generally what happens. So we don't stress about this stuff. What's the funniest thing that's happened on tour that you can actually tell on camera? There's so many. It just pops to mind. We're in Sri Lanka, and we're at Tengal staying at. It's quite hot. We're down on the coast, so this is on the south coast of Sri Lanka, and this is just the last Sri Lanka tour actually. And Mark, if you're watching, you'll know where I'm going with this. But I walk past the pool back to my room after a few drinks, and the manager comes out and he goes, no. He goes, tell all your people, time to go to bed. And I go, why? And he goes, one of your guys ran through here naked, jumping in the pool. And I'm like, oh my God. He goes, it wasn't me. And he goes, no, it wasn't you. And I'm like, I wonder who it was. And there was some young German girls sitting by the pool. This is about midnight now. They were drinking some cocktails. And I said, oh, sorry about that. That was one of our guys ran past naked and did a bombie in the pool. And they thought it was great. He was fantastic. They have a good laugh about it. So, so that was pretty funny. And especially the next morning at breakfast, trying to work out who it was, Mark. What's the funniest thing that's happened that absolutely cannot be told on camera? Next. What's the closest you've come to accidentally getting involved at something that felt slightly mafia adjacent? I'll have to take you to Lithuania for that one, and my drinking vodka with former Soviet soldiers and waking up with a broken collarbone. But to find out the rest of that story, I call it the bender in the Baltics. You'll have to jump on tour. I'll save that story. I think that's enough. There's 22 questions there, so we'll save some for the next video, when I think I'll leave this Poland map up, because we'll talk about, I think I might talk about the food, because that's a real highlight of Poland. But so if you haven't watched the last video, obviously this is Poland. It's roughly the size of Queensland. It's roughly about 40 million people, I think. You got Czech, Slovakia, Germany, the Baltic Sea, Russia, Lithuania, Belarus, and Ukraine. Lots of cool borders. Our ride essentially takes in this half of the country. So you've got the Tatra Mountains all the way up here. This is all wild grass, a lot of wild grass, the largest national park and woodland forests in Europe, the last remaining wild buffalo herds in Europe. That's all up in this area. Nizhek is where my family's from. I've never been there, so I think I might actually, we get into Krakow, I might take it on the first day before we jump on the bike, shoot out there and have a quick squeeze around. Small little villages, couple hundred people, just have a sniff around. So it'd be interesting just to see the landscape and environment that the Natneski people came from. I'm sure. One thing, they are famous. When I spoke to some Polish people, they said, yeah, that they laugh. It's the most stubborn people. They go, it's only a small town, but it's the most stubborn people in all of Europe, all of Poland. So you be the judge of that. The Biedeleski Loop is around here, so this is probably going to be one of the highlights of the trip. And then we're, Warsaw. We got two nights in Warsaw. Incredible old town, rebuilt after World War II. You wouldn't even know it was rebuilt. They built it exactly as it was. Melbourne, largest castle in Europe, home of the Teutonic Knights. They ruled the whole of Europe and North Africa from there, back in the 1500s. I mean, there's so much to talk about. Krakow is one of the most beautiful cities in Europe. So you can see, I haven't mapped out the route. We want to keep some surprises pretty much, but we'll have this all videoed. Well, we're going to take the drone and that, but still got some spots left. Hit us up if you're interested. Great, like I said, there's some really good flight deals at the moment. I'm flying Qatar, love them, food's great. Service is next level, prices are good, so check that out. Really good connections too. It's like an hour, maybe 1.5 hour connection. Then you fly, Melbourne, Doha, right into Warsaw. Perfect. Doesn't get any easier than that. So I flew back from Ireland with Qatar, and it was unreal. Like, I had 3 seats. It was like first class, but economy class prices. So I can't recommend them enough. But that's enough for today. It's Friday. It's coming in a Friday afternoon. I'm going to go and get a 6-pack of Guinness soon and settle in and write an email to you guys and girls. And really look forward to hearing what you think about all the rubbish I've spoken. Not rubbish, but information I've just thrown up there. Marie will quickly edit up the videos, maybe splice some stuff, make it look pretty, make this video flow a bit better. But just jump on www.nevermindadventuretours.com.au/Poland. All the info's there. We've got some special deals going to fill those last few spaces. So get amongst it. And we offer a money-back guarantee on all our tours. So you don't like it, and you've got legitimate reason that you think that was crap and not good value for money, I'll just give you your money back, and we'll still be mates. We offer a travel disruption guarantee. So if there's, the flights are cancelled, we can't get there, all that sort of stuff, again, money back guarantee, no problem at all. So, I don't know, it's risk-free, completely risk-free. So even, jump on, look at our reviews. I think we've got some great ones on Google, Facebook, all that, and the fact that people keep coming back, and I'm still doing this 15 years later, I think it's testament to that. I may not be very good in front of a camera on YouTube, but I'm confident that we do a motorcycle tour very well. It's like, again, to go back to, it's the rock star, not the rock star, but musician analogy, They tour and tour and tour and tour, and they get tighter and tighter, rehearse, and then, 10, 50, like the Beatles, they'd played thousands of gigs before they actually, were discovered and became the Beatles and the biggest band in the world. What we do, a motorbike tours, Nevermind's no different. It's been 15 years of constant touring, constant riding bikes, constant travel, constant exploring the world with you people, and you get to learn what people love. So, and I'm confident that we do that very well, and we provide that, and that's why we also have that. Again, we're like a band, it's obviously I'm the lead singer, lead guitarist. I'm the Mick Jagger of the show. I'm joking, but I'm probably the front man to a certain extent, and we've got Marie on drums at the back. We've got Wakar on bass. We've got Siddhi on what would Siddhi play? He's our Sri Lankan bloke. He would probably play, I reckon he'd play the saxophone. He's pretty smooth. Jason Dossiter, the farmer from Griffith, would probably agree with me there. Seba, he would probably be up there, front man with me, be the Keith Richards of the show. Lucia, our main lady in Argentina, she would be backing vocals for sure, in that song "Give Me Shelter," the Stones, where you got that black American vocalist singing with Mick Jagger. That would be Lucia. And you know, we've even got our merch. You know, they're our tours are our concerts, our shows, our you know, where you can come and see us live in action. We've got our merch, our T-shirts and leather and products, stickers, all that sort of stuff. Which, you know, and then we've got our YouTube channel, which is our records and our recordings and our Spotify. So yeah, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's a model that's obviously worked for in the past, so hopefully it works for us. So check it out. That's enough bullshit for me. It's Friday afternoon. I'm getting thirsty. Have a great weekend, people, and I'll hope to hear from you all. Cheers.